Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rhett, and I used to be a binge drinker, heavy drinker. Um, I haven't had a drink in 2.5 years, and I feel great. And this channel, I share my experiences of how I did it, the struggles, the wins, um, what worked, what didn't work, and I do this in hopes to help anyone out there who's, thinking about quitting or they may be struggling with alcohol. These videos are for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, leave your questions in the comments. And yeah, I hope to have a community here who's all trying to achieve the same thing, trying to transform their lives, better their lives by stepping away from alcohol. I can, I could speak from experience. I got to a point where I needed to quit, and there were for a few specific reasons why I wanted to quit, but the improvements in all areas of my life once I got alcohol out of it has just been great. It really has. So it's the end of the year is coming up, and you know a lot of people are going to be coming up with their New Year's resolutions. Now, for me, actually, I don't ever recall having my New Year's resolutions to quit drinking. But for many, that will be the case. Now, we've all set resolutions before, and the first month we come out firing, all's going well, and as the year goes on, they kind of just taper off, and we kind of get back into our own routines, our normal life, and we're kind of like back to where we were before before the first of the year. So if you're watching this, I'm gonna kind of give you a few tips to help you really solidify your New Year's resolution. And if that's quitting drinking, great, you're in the right place. So first, and this goes with anything that you're trying to accomplish in life, but especially something as difficult as quitting drinking. If you're like me, drinking has been a part of your life for as long as you can remember. So quitting it's not going to happen overnight. It might. I have seen it. Some people can go cold turkey. For me, that wasn't the case. It took me 3 years of trying, off and on, going for different lengths at a time, and it finally stuck. So the first thing that you want to ask yourself is why. Why do you want to quit drinking? Now, surface level, this may seem pretty easy, but I invite you to go deeper into the why. So, obviously, I want to feel better. I don't want to waste my life feeling like shit. That's easy. But there's more to it than that. When I ask myself, why do I want to quit drinking? And right, didn't I was tired of being hungover all the time, being hungover for days, even up to a week at a time. But there was more to it. Do I want to be a better person for my wife? Do I want to be a better brother, a better son, a better friend? Do I want to be a better person for me? Do you want to be those things to those people? For me, I was in the process of, doing other things in my life to be healthier mentally and physically, but I wasn't getting the results that I thought I should be getting. And when I sat down and, looked myself in the mirror and had that kind of deep conversation or difficult conversation with myself, alcohol was, the common denominator in me holding myself back in all these areas of my life. I was going to the gym, I was doing yoga, meditating in the morning, reading different types of books on stoicism, personal development, mindset, all these things. And yes, there was improvement. It was gradual, but I still felt like there was something holding me back. Like I was like trying to run through quicksand or something. It just felt, it didn't feel right. And I came to the conclusion that alcohol wasn't wasn't a part of my future, right? And it couldn't be. And I knew I needed to leave it in my past and everything associated with it. And I'll be honest, that was a tough pill to swallow, you know. So your reason for doing something, for doing anything, it always starts with a why, and you have to have a strong why. Otherwise, it's not going to stick. If you're having issues in your relationship, in your marriage, or issues with your kids because of your drinking, maybe that's your why. Or you're not performing at your job like you should be. You're in danger of losing your job. Are you running into legal and financial issues? So really sit down and think of all the things alcohol is negatively affecting your life. Is that somewhere you like to be? Is that somewhere you want to be? And if you don't quit drinking, what does your life look like in 3 months, 6 months, a year? If you keep going down this road that you've been going down, is that somewhere you want to be? Is that the person you want to be? Think about these things because they're very important. And if you have your strong why, then you'll do whatever it takes to get sober, to quit drinking. Now, once you figure out what your why is, the next step would be to figure out how. How are you going to quit drinking? And let me tell you from experience, it is not easy. I wish I had a switch where just like boom, I'm done. I'm done drinking. I don't want any more. I'm not tempted, but that's not how it works. In my journey of quitting drinking, it took, I'd go maybe a few days, a few weeks, and then I would drink again. Then I'd go for 3 months, and then I'd drink again. And then I'd go for maybe 2 weeks, and then I'd drink. It was just this never-ending cycle. And I realized my issue was I kept trying to live the life I was living when I was drinking and trying to do that sober. And I kept putting myself in scenarios and situations and hanging out with the same people that I associated drinking with, and that's nothing on them. It's 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 all on me. But I was trying to live both lives at the same time, and it wasn't working. So stay away from people, places, or things that are going to trigger you to drink. It's as easy and as hard as that. Now, it's winter, so it might be a little bit easier to quit drinking in terms of not going out. The weather's not that good, not that many people are going out. There's not that many activities to go out and be around alcohol. But, obviously if you want to, you can. You can just go to the bar. But to that same point, if you're like me and sometimes when you're bored and you have nothing to do because the weather is so bad, you you drink. So what I did is I stayed away from certain situations that were going to put me at risk of drinking. And then on the other side, to make sure I wasn't drinking when I was bored, I picked up, other activities, or I started doing things that would fill in the gap of the time I spent drinking. So I got back into motocross, started racing and riding dirt bikes again, and that kind of filled up my weekend. And I would much rather go ride than wake up hungover and just waste a whole day. That's one thing. I started going to, well, I was already going to the gym, but I started going to the gym almost every day, doing yoga almost every day. Um, and these things became part of my daily routine. And so I was more focused on these things that had nothing to do with drinking. And my mindset was on, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night wasn't, oh man, I can't wait to go get some drinks with the boys. It was, I'm going to go to bed early and I'm going to wake up feeling good. And I'm either going to go riding, going to go to the gym, going to go to yoga, just something to keep my mind off of drinking. And it got to the point where I started feeling so good that I would rather, go to bed early, do the things that I enjoy, than, you know, have a few hours of fun with the boys and wake up the next day feeling like shit. It got to the point where they weren't comparable. So, with that being said, New Year's is in a couple days. Figure out your why. Why do you want to quit drinking? And then make a plan on how you're going to do it. And stick to it. It's not easy, but I will say if I can do it, anyone can do it. So, appreciate you taking the time to stop by and watch this video. If you like it, please subscribe, leave a comment, um, share it with your buddies, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one.